I've just received a batch of recordings to analyze. I'll do a basic cluster analysis with the default settings. The default signal parameters of Kaleidoscope Pro include a minimum frequency of 250 Hz and a maximum frequency of 10,000 Hz. That covers the frequency ranges of most songbirds. The first cluster that is listed sounds like it's actually a spring peeper frog. And this is the first listed cluster because the frog is the most common pattern in the entire batch of recordings. If I continue through the clusters, I then see the patterns that are most similar to the preceding patterns, and that includes songbirds that are roughly in the range of the peeper. Eventually, the cluster patterns become different enough that I start to see a few more higher frequency detections. I'm curious as to what I'll find if I change a single signal parameter. I'm going to raise the minimum frequency to 6,000 Hz. What this does is cause Kaleidoscope Pro to ignore any signals under 6,000 Hz and only detect and cluster signals it finds above that frequency. I'll rerun the cluster analysis. The first cluster I see has content above 6,000 Hz. It also has content below 6,000 Hz, but that content is actually being ignored by Kaleidoscope Pro. This cluster is based on higher frequency signals. As I go through the following clusters and detections, I see more high frequency patterns. I may occasionally see a lower frequency signal, such as the spring peeper, but I am no longer seeing clusters based on that low frequency frog. This fine-tuning was just one simple adjustment to the minimum frequency under the Signal Parameters tab. If I were looking for low-frequency sounds, I could lower the maximum frequency setting. If you know your species of interest and you know it vocalizes at a specific frequency range, you can tune these parameters to focus on that frequency range and ignore signals at other frequencies. You may also want to experiment with different FFT settings to see how they work with your tuned minimum and maximum frequency. Using these parameters can really help you narrow down the cluster analysis results to make it easier to find and isolate those elusive vocalizations. Thank you for watching.